32-year-old Diamond Thomas is behind bars for fatally stabbing her 34-year-old boyfriend Archie Phillips. At around 1:15 p.m. on Saturday the 4th of May, authorities responded to an apartment in the 4200 block of 28th Avenue in Temple Hills, Maryland on reports of a disturbance. When officers arrived, they entered the premises and found Archie unresponsive with a stab wound, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators determined that Diamond stabbed Archie during an argument. It's unclear what the fight was about. Diamond was arrested and charged with manslaughter and is held at the Prince George's County Jail. Archie's obituary states that he was employed as a forklift driver for various companies over the years and enjoyed spending time with his family and friends and will be greatly missed. He's survived by his 5 children. The investigation into the matter continues. A former West Point, Mississippi police officer and his wife are behind bars for the death of their 4-month-old child. On Tuesday the 7th of May 2024, 24-year-old Donovan Jeffers and 25-year-old Kiana Peterson were booked into the Clay County Jail on murder charges and are currently held without bond. West Point Police Chief Avery Cook said the arrests date back to November of 2022, when the couple's child went to the hospital for brain and spinal injuries. The child died and medical examiners identified the cause of death as shaken baby syndrome, and the case was determined to be a homicide. The investigation into the matter continues. A 26-year-old woman is behind bars for fatally shooting a man and then stealing money from him to purchase food. At 7:46 a.m. on Monday the 6th of May, authorities responded to Cherokee Park in the 2900 block of Fillmore Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee, where they found a man deceased with a gunshot wound. Police obtained footage from an apartment complex nearby that captured a person of interest in the homicide. The following day, a woman reported her daughter Kenyatta Hayes as a suspect and escorted her to police. Kenyatta told officers that she was at the Marathon gas station along Lamar Avenue when a man approached her and offered to pay her $60 for oral sex. She told police that she was thirsty for money. She said she went with the man to the park under false pretenses that she was going to engage in a sexual act, but she planned to rob him instead. At the park, she fatally shot the man, took cash from him and then fled the scene before spending $47 on 2 hot wing combos for herself and her boyfriend. Kenyatta was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and perpetration of a robbery. She remains held at the Shelby County Jail pending a bond hearing. The investigation into the matter continues. A 70-year-old man is behind bars for shooting and severely injuring his neighbour. At 5:37 p.m. on Tuesday the 7th of May, authorities responded to a location near 144th Place and Rickerman Road in Lockport Township, Illinois, and reports of a person shot. Witnesses to the incident told investigators that John Chadbar shot his 45-year-old neighbour Melissa Robertson outside and was walking around his property with a rifle. He reportedly fired dozens of rounds of ammunition with an assault-style rifle at the victim from different locations outside. After the shooting, Melissa managed to drag herself from a yard into her kitchen. A friend who had been staying with her called 911. Deputies arrived on scene and found Melissa with a gunshot wound to her chest that had exited her back as well as one to her hand. They attempted life-saving measures on the victim and transported her to a local hospital in a critical condition. She underwent surgery and is recovering. Authorities said that after shooting his neighbour, John went into his home and barricaded himself inside. A crisis negotiator spoke with John via phone when John made several incriminating statements. The negotiator eventually convinced John to surrender peacefully, and deputies arrested him without incident. Investigators obtained surveillance footage from the area and said that the incident appears to be racially motivated. Family and friends said that John previously made racial slurs about Melissa looking after 2 black boys. John is charged with 9 felony counts, including attempted first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, hate crime, and unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. John remains held at the Will County Jail without bond. The investigation into the matter continues.